There was a time in my life when I was a hospice chaplain, and during that time I lived in Boston. I once met a gentleman who had been a former Red Sox player. Interestingly, he claimed to be an atheist, and yet he wanted me to visit him every week. And I did that for 1.5 years until the day he died. After his retirement from professional baseball, he had become a very successful businessman. He found that in me, he had a captive audience. I didn't mind because I loved his stories of his accomplishments as a successful businessman, his party days while he was a youth, lessons of love, and also lessons he'd learned from both of his marriages. After a few weeks of visiting with him, it became obvious that the theme of forgiveness had been haunting him. He needed to be forgiven by his eldest son, and he needed to forgive his first wife. The project we set out to do together was for him to write letters to his son, his ex-wife, and his current wife. I became his typist and his editor. I heard the stories behind the words on his letter, and I saw the tears of relief as I typed. I'm happy to say that we managed to finish his letters just a week before his death. Well, this gentleman died, and with his instructions, I handed the letters to his family members the day of his memorial service. I was grateful for the opportunity to have been a part of his healing process, to hear his stories, to help him reflect on why he needed to forgive and why he needed to ask for forgiveness. I'm mostly grateful for the opportunity to gently share with him that God forgives us and that indeed God had forgiven him too.